back to the channel, guys. Tyler here from Broncbuster. We got Chris from Off-Road Shenanigans. Now, if you guys are in the Central Texas area, or if you feel like a long drive, go check out Off-Road Shenanigans. They are one of our certified install shops and somebody that I trust and I send a lot of stuff to. So in today's video, we're going to go through all of the components that we've now added to this vehicle in our package number 2, which is the Weekend Warrior. You're not going to want to miss this. We're going to dive into all those parts, what we've done, the added capabilities, and of course, we're back out here at our favorite place. Chris, where's that?
This is our home park, Hidden Falls in Marble Falls, Texas.
I think Chris was born here, and I think he'll die here. So he's here all the time. So this is a great place. But no, we're going to go out on the trail. We're going to show you what these components will do for the vehicle. This is a whole series of videos, so if you haven't already been watching the other ones, I encourage you, go back and watch the last in the series and showing the Bronco from not only how do you find the components on there, but what you do for upgrades and what those increased capabilities will give you. So I'm excited to get out on the trail. But first, Chris, we got a lot of work to do. So let's jump back in time and go in the shop and install these parts. We got a lot to get started on, so let's dive into this. But before we do that, let's go over all the individual components we will be adding in this video and talk about the reasons why. This package, the Weekend Warrior, includes all of the components that was in the Essential package, which included the bronc bushing, the buster brace, and the shock skids. But we're also adding the billet aluminum Stage 3 Broncbuster housing. So with the addition of these items, we're now fully reinforced on our steering, but we need some additional height to fit these 37s. So we're also including a lift option. Now that lift option could be just a 3-inch body lift. A 3-inch body lift will get you the added height that you need. I'm going to do this a little bit different, but we're going to give you 3 different options. We're going to give you an option of an 1.5 inch body lift, a 3-inch body lift. So you'll have your body lift option, you'll have your billet aluminum pucks, and you'll also have an option for perch collars. Let's talk about some of the additional things that we're going to be adding on this Bronco. In this case, we're going to do a swap out of the front drive unit. We're going to put in the Dana Spicer Ultimate 44, and we're going to add the 32 spline CVs. We'll have lockers. We're going to install a locker switch. In addition to that, we're going to add the Broncbuster hub-centric wheel spacers at this point. We're also going to need to add ProCal Tool by Ford Performance. So with all of those components, that becomes what's going on this vehicle. In addition to that though, listen, we've experimented a lot. We've gone out and shown in these videos how much damage can happen if we don't properly protect the vehicle. So in this case, we're going to also add the Talons Garage skid plates. It gives us more protection from the stock skid plates. So with that, we're going to jump in and we're going to get this build done because I'm excited to go out and show you what the capability increase is of the Bronco now that we've had everything stabilized once we get those front lockers installed as well. We are going to jump in and install a locker switch. This vehicle did not come with it on our Hero switches. Let's go ahead and install the billet aluminum Stage 3 housing onto the passenger side of the vehicle. This becomes very necessary once you go to that bigger tire size. All right, Chris, what do you think? Now that we've finished that front drive unit, we've added the reinforcements on the steering, we got the shock skids on, we're going to now jump in and do what I find is the most fun part, and that is fitting these 37s on here. So in order to do that, we're going to choose a combination of things to do this. We're going to split the difference, do an 1.5 inch body lift to get some of that height, and then we're going to do an 1.5 inch billet aluminum lift kit. We're going to go ahead and dive in and get started. First, I don't know, Chris, what do you want to do? The body lift first?
I think we should knock out the body lift.
Start with the easy first, right? That's the way I look at it. So At this point, we're installing the 1.5 billet aluminum spacers. This, combined with our 1.5 body lift, will give us the necessary clearance to fit the tires in this package. Let's go ahead and install the 1.5 wheel spacers. The wheel spacers are going to give us enough of a negative offset to be able to fit these 37-inch tires. We're going to go ahead and cut off both front and rear crash bars. We're almost done, Chris. I think we're ready to mount these tires on and pull out of here with crash bars and everything cut. We got one important detail, and that is the Talons garage skid plates. So the last couple of times we've gone out, you can see some of these images underneath the vehicle. We've tore it up pretty good out playing with it to show you the different builds and the capabilities, but also to emphasize how important it is to protect necessary parts, including the frame. So I'm going to get the skid plates out. We're going to go ahead and get those mounted. Let's go ahead and install the ProCal tool so that we'll have that option to delete the front axle disconnect. So at this point in the game, all the guys that were with us, they were out behind and not really paying attention to what I was doing. I guess my camera guy was trying to get my attention and I didn't hear him, so I just kept on going.
Hey Tyler, something might be off with that wheel.
Well, it's a good place to replace it.
We broke because we didn't reinforce that tie rod. Yes, I had a later purpose in the video to be able to install our universal brace and test, but it also gave us some more insight to what can happen if you don't reinforce your tie rod.
And
and we've tested them over and over and over again here.
I wasn't going crazy on it. Just a little bit of that wheel spin and it connects and breaks that. Especially you get.
Lesson learned here is always reinforce. We normally have our tie rods reinforced anytime we go out. Sometimes experimenting is fun, but sometimes experimenting is also very expensive.
Okay. See, back it up.
Right after we get that repaired with the universal brace, now we are able to hit the trail again and successfully make it up this part of the trail. Now, remember in the past videos where we didn't have front lockers, we were on 31-inch tires, and I was trying every single option to get up this part of the trail, and I kept ending up in the tree and hung up and doing further damage. That didn't happen this time. I was able to successfully climb it. We're ready to start hitting the trail again, and a guy come up behind us, going up the exact same obstacle that I broke my tie rod, and he broke his tie rod. Luckily, we had a brace that I could take off of little homie here.
Oh, yeah. Hop in. Oh, good position. Hold on. Jeremy, turn your wheel. Out.
So we had a lot of fun on this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Let's recap a little bit about what all we did and the added capabilities and what each component and why it added those capabilities. What are the capabilities added? Well, I think having that additional clearance was clear. We weren't hanging up on objects. We were able to climb up a lot easier. Now, in the case of this vehicle, adding those front lockers as an additional item gave a ton of capabilities as well. So to sum it up, I would say additional height that we gained and the addition of having those front lockers gave this vehicle an immense amount of capabilities. Not that it wasn't capable before. I'm not trying to highlight that it didn't have capabilities. I just think it's important to show each one of those changes and how it adds the capabilities along the way. To wrap this video up, guys, please leave a comment. Let me know what you liked, maybe something that in the future we could do better to add. And as always, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button for more of our content. And if you haven't done so already, go back and watch some of these playlists of videos that talk about the capabilities and these additions and what we're doing along the way. Hope you guys enjoyed this. We'll talk to you soon. See you on the trail.